Good morning, Jane, Queen of Collaboration.
Thank you.
Do I call you Jane or Your Majesty?
Jane is absolutely fine. Thank you very much.
Okay, all right. Now, you wrote the book. That's not just a phrase. You actually did write the book on meetings in 2007. What are we getting right and what are we still getting wrong?
Wow. 2007, it seems like a long time ago. It seems like another lifetime ago, actually. The book was called Brilliant Meetings, and it was meant to be a blueprint of how the person can deliver a better meeting. So whether you're a participant or leading the meeting.
Yeah.
And not about necessarily the technology, because I think we've got a personal ownership to actually deliver a good meeting and be present in a meeting.
Yeah.
What are we getting right now? I think the technology is helping us a lot more to have better and more productive meetings.
Yeah.
But actually, I think we're getting a lot wrong. The amount of video meetings people are having, I think there's a phrase that's been coined, which is digital debt.
Really?
So the digital debt of meetings means, well, I couldn't make that video call, but I can watch it back.
Right.
Well, really, when do you ever get time to actually watch a meeting back that you didn't participate in?
Will AI help with that, you think? Or?
I think AI is going to be a next revolution in our industry.
Right.
For not just the technology that it will deliver, but actually for people participating in meetings.
Yeah.
It's going to be so beneficial. And we, as an industry, we've got to be helping people to understand where those benefits and efficiencies are going to come from. So if I wasn't in your meeting, I couldn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
AI could give me a complete transcript of the meeting, or it could give me the actions that I was given because I wasn't there. You get given all the actions when you're not there. Mm-hmm. And it could also tell me when my name was mentioned, or I can search on a specific subject that I'm interested in. So rather than having to listen to an hour's or 2 hours meeting and be in digital debt, AI could actually summarise that for me. And that's just one of the benefits of AI.
Sure. So I almost interrupted you there when you were saying that the big problem is digital debt and people taking on too many video meetings.
Yeah.
In terms of the technology, what are we getting right and what are we not yet? What's still to be achieved in terms of the technology that's supporting meetings?
Our industry is fabulous at technology. We do technology really well.
Yeah.
Sometimes a little too well.
Right.
So we can fill the room with technology, but you need to be taught how to use it.
Yeah.
So I think as soon as you need to be taught how to use technology in a meeting space, for example, that you don't use all the time, it's very unusual for people to adopt that very easily. Yeah. Maybe unless you're a millennial, but they'll probably be not in the office anyway. So I think technology for technology's sake, we've got to ensure that it's walk up and use, simple, that everybody can use it and adopt it, and it adds efficiencies and productivities to their day and to their meeting. And that's the point that you will get adoption.
Yeah.
So walk up and use, make it simple to use, make people see the benefits.
Yeah.
We'll get adoption, and then we'll actually then start to build up standardized technology in spaces that people want to use, and then they gravitate. Everybody talks about RTO and returning to the office.
Right.
And if we can actually have technology as an enabler, as a motivator rather than mandate, if we could use our industry and our technology to motivate people back to the office, I think that's what we can get right.
Yeah. You're speaking at a panel at ISE. What kind of messages will you be giving to people within the industry there?
Yeah, that's a great one. I've got the honour of moderating a panel, so I have the dubious task to try and keep people on message, in line on subject, but it's actually how to innovate to accelerate, and how do we deliver innovation to enhance people's days, really what we were just saying. Some of the topics that I've now been introduced to, immersive spaces, immersive rooms, that don't just talk about a standard Teams meeting or Zoom meeting, but they actually then talk about how you can be inside the data and interpret the data. I think as technologies increase, the data that it produces increases. We've got to do something with the data.
Right.
So if we're going to innovate, we need to actually take the data that is being created and help customers to do something with that. So in this immersive space that I've been introduced to, you can actually stand inside the data and it becomes real. And those data produces insights, which is great, but then they produce actions. So I think that innovation has to happen. Take the data and make them actionable insights from them.
Video conferencing was this expensive, high-end thing. It's always about to happen.
Yes.
Always about to go mainstream. Then you had the pandemic. There was this rush, scramble to get it out there at whatever quality of experience you could achieve at that point in time. Now I feel as if we're after that point. How is the advice you're giving now in terms of your consultancy work differing from, or in terms of your industry discussions, differing from pre-pandemic, early scramble times?
Yes, that is a great question. We call it kind of a roller coaster effect.
Right.
We had the roller coaster free falling downhill when March 23rd in the UK, people went home and worked from home for 2 weeks. And that 2 weeks turned into 2 months to, as we know now, looking back 2 years. That scramble was very much, okay, well, I just set up on my dining room table and whatever happens now, the dog's barking and the kids are in, we saw those great videos with, kids coming in and people trying to keep them apart. I think what has happened, we talked about too many video meetings. People have gravitated to back-to-back video meetings. And it's that fatigue that you get. It's a well-known fact now, and I think we all get to that fatigue stage with video meetings. The advice that we talk about now is have clear agendas. We always talked about that. Make sure you're on the right meeting. Is it the meeting you should be participating in or leading? And ensure that there is actions that come out from meetings. And that's whether you're in person or virtual. But those hybrid meetings is super critical. We think about the person on the remote end. And those remote participants should have as good as an experience of the meeting, of the information that's shared. Could it be collaborative? Can we use interactive devices to ensure that collaboration from the remote participants as well? Making sure they can, maybe it's a Teams whiteboard or a Zoom whiteboard, but having the tools within the meeting environment, whether it's virtual or in room, having the tools to make all those participants feel included and equitable meeting. So that's the best advice we can give.
Just a last question, I suppose, is how did you end up at this job title, Queen of Collaboration?
That is a really good question. We, back in June, decided to create our own consultancy called Blue Touch Paper, which we thought was a genius name for a company. But it appears that anybody outside the UK or under 35 has no idea what like the Blue Touch Paper and stand well back means.
Right.
So it kind of, excuse the pun, backfired a little bit because nobody knew it. But the genius was, people actually then said, well, what does that mean? So we were able to explain Blue Touch Paper, explosives back in the 1800s, and long fuse, and it's about igniting, about explosions, but doing something different, being disruptive. Now, I can't say I work for a disruptive company and be the consultant.
Sure.
So we said, we want to do things a bit differently. I'll be Queen of Collaboration. John's chief storyteller, and we've just hired a crazy communicator. And what it does is it opens conversations. We're all about communications. We're all about being open and authentic as we can be. And it's not about grand titles. It's actually about delivering on what we say we're going to deliver and have fun.
Cool. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Jane.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate
Thank you,
joining
guys.
us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.